G'day team, hope you're all going well. Yeah, we're just doing a bit of droving this morning. Just just getting these ewes back out the other farm. It's quite cold and windy this morning actually. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty windy sort of a day. So they are talking a top of 22, but Brendan was just giving me a hand here on the road, just blocking a neighbour's driveway so the sheep didn't run down it. I sort of thought they might have been this. We've got all the ewes here, so there's 1,450 of them or whatever there is. I thought they might have been sort of. Usually you've got quicker ones and slower ones, so the quick ones tend to run and the slower ones tend to drag the chain, but they're all sort of pushed up pretty close together, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But I was in the buggy and it was pretty windy, and I thought I'll wait. When I got to him I thought I'll swap your vehicles, so it's a bit warmer in the ute. But yeah, talking sort of 20 to, I think, gusting to 40 km/h winds today, so I'm not too sure how much spraying will get done. But anyway, we'll get these girls back around onto the canal, and I'll just lock them on there today, and then we'll get them shifted around further. A couple of things, that last video, apologies with the focus there halfway through it. If you're only new to the channel, or we've sort of gone from a GoPro to a fancy camera, and I'm still getting the swing of it, so apologies about that. But I think we've got the sound under control now, and that was just a setting in the camera. So how that came to be, I watched a couple of YouTube videos and on where we should have settings and that sort of stuff, but it was probably more so a setting for when you're doing this sort of stuff where you're in an inside or something like that, you haven't got background noise and that sort of thing. So that's but we've got that cranked right up now, and the feedback is that the sound's good. What else do I have to mention? I think we're over 100 videos now. I think this is the 103rd or 4th one. So which time gets away. So we've nearly had it going for 12 months, or won't be far off been going for 12 months. Which is pretty cool. And we're getting, I think we're over 1,900 subscribers now. So everyone's starting to a few starting to come on board, which is good to see. And look, hopefully the content's what you. It's pretty raw, some of it. I don't edit it too much. It's just what's going on day to day and what we're doing, and look, hopefully it gives you guys that are watching along a bit of an insight to actually how a farm operates, and what the highs and lows and all that sort of stuff. So and the other one that it's sort of, we're actually away on holidays when it happened, but we're actually into our 20th year of farming, so that was that's something pretty cool too. It's a bit of a personal milestone. So anyway, whether I'll still be farming in another 20 years is up for debate, but anyway, we'll at the moment we're rocking along not too bad. So anyway, enough of my waffle. We'll get these girls back out to where they need to be, and move on to the next job. Oh, we got the sheep moved, so I'm just here decontaminating the boom spray. So we've just got a product that we run through the boom, and I generally let it sit for 24 hours just to make sure. You can get some chemicals, especially the powder ones, like to sit in the lines and all the hidey holes. So we've got taps on this boom's in 6 sections, I think. Just can't remember, but anyway, 6 or 8 different individual sections, and then on the end of each line we've just got a ball tap that we can crack and flush the lines out. But what I've actually done is I've just changed the nozzles. I just had a look, and there's a few that were starting to get a bit ratty. They'd sort of been hit on a fence or something like that. So, but we've actually changed nozzle size. So the purple guy, and you can identify what size the nozzles are by their colours. So that's purple is an O2, what we call an O25. Excuse me. So They're a air induction, or an AI they call them. So we've actually gone to an O3. So O3 is basically, it means it's got a bigger, like the number size, and it's probably a bit hard to tell through the camera, but the number is basically the size of that hole in the end of the nozzle. So nozzle size is then related to water rate. So generally we spray from anywhere from 70 litres of water to the hectare to 100 litres to the hectare, but depending on your nozzle size, so the quicker you go, so generally 70 litres, our ground speed, we're around that 18 to 20 kilometres an hour, and that's around the 3.5 bar of pressure. So if we go quicker, our pressure increases, and then our droplet gets finer. So higher the pressure, finer the droplet. So what we've done is, when we were up at sort of spraying at 100 litres with the O25s, we were back to about 12 kilometres an hour, just to keep that droplet in, you know, a sort of coarse range, or it's probably even getting a bit on the fine side. So by going to the O3 nozzle, we can keep our ground speed up. So we can do our, you know, at 80 litres, we seem to be doing a lot more work at 70. We seem to be doing a lot more work at 80 to 100 litres. So by going to the bigger nozzle size, we can travel quicker. So, you know, at 80 litres, we should be able to do our 18 and 19 kilometres an hour, and then, you know, to come back to go to 100 litres, to keep that droplet size where it needs to be, we can, I think by the chart, we're about 14 to 15 kilometres an hour. So this is it's all on a chart, but with the chemicals and that sort of stuff now, it does actually specify what droplet size you should be doing. So, you know, coarse, extra coarse, ultra coarse, some chemicals special, some of the summer chemicals like your 2,4-Ds and that sort of stuff, you know, they talk extra coarse to ultra coarse, just because it helps to eliminate the drift and that sort of stuff. But that's only part of it. Obviously, spraying conditions and that sort of stuff add to it as well. But yeah, these purple nozzles we had on it, they've done 2 seasons, so they probably are due to be renewed anyway. So I just thought, while we're getting organised, it's a pretty windy day today, I'm actually hoping, before we start and disc that rice ground up again, I've actually had the agronomist out this afternoon, and just want to, he said we probably need to put another crossing across it, just with some gramoxone, which I'm hoping to do, but the wind is sort of up, so I'm going to duck into town and grab some chemical, and then just on dark, it likes to be like, they like to use it in dull light, or, you know, after dark sort of things. So providing we've still got a light breeze, I'm hoping the breeze will drop off on dark, and then we can, conditions will be sort of perfect. But they are talking thunderstorms this arvo, and it is getting a bit dark out to the west here now, and just looking on the radar, there is something probably 2 or 3 hours away. It just looks like a band coming through. But yeah, we'll just suck it and see. We'll get organised anyway, and then if the window opens and we get an opportunity, we can get into it. Tony's just been mucking around with the disc and getting a few of these scrapers organised. So he's just made up something. It's pretty rough. It doesn't need to be fancy for this job, because it's only going to get covered in mud and dirt anyway. So yeah, he's just been mucking around, getting a few of these things organised. There's one up the front there as well that he's done, and yeah, so it's right to go. Start over on where we're going to plant the corn. So on our dairy block, we'll start and work those bays up over there. The way the job is going, with it just seems to have got a bit drier, we're going to probably get a chance to run the laser bucket over this stuff. So there's a bit of work in it. We don't have to shift a lot of dirt, as I've sort of said. I want to fill a few holes in and that. So so we don't drown any crop out and that sort of stuff, because the corn seed is bloody expensive. So I was sort of, you know, and we need to get that job right, and even the rice ground the same. Look, we might have to burn the candle a bit at both ends on the tractor just to get that knocked into shape as well. It's not the end of the world if the rice ground doesn't get done, but it'll be a lot. It'll benefit a lot from it if it does. But look, the pattern is changing. We seem to be not getting those weekly showers as much now, and I'll say that, and then we'll get this band come through tonight and we'll get 10 mil. Anyway, so yeah, we're just the pattern. They're talking El Nino, which is a dry weather pattern, so we just say it does seem to be drying off a little bit, so we might get a crack at getting this lasering done, which would be spot on if we do. But it's a double-edged sword, because we want the rain to finish the winter crop, and yeah, it's just, there's a lot of balls in the air at the moment. So anyway, it's the game we play. Morning. We've got the ewes drafted up. I didn't get any footage of that because there was a fair bit going on and they were misbehaving. I've just come down just to have a look at a bit of the vetch. So this is down, this area actually goes, apologies for the wind, it is a bit blowy. This area does go underwater at times when we get a lot of rain, but you might be able to see the sort of yellow flower there. That's cape weed, and there's a sort of distinct line in the paddock of where the cape weed is. We've got lambs in here. There's, I don't know, 600 odd lambs in here, and they're all, I don't know where the camera will zoom, you might be able to see them, but they're up further up there on the top of the hill. So yeah, the cape weed's quite dirty, that quite weedy, that part of the paddock. So but down here, yeah, the vetch, and that's there's a pretty good mix here of ryegrass and clover that we put in as well with the mix. There's probably a bit of lucerne still kicking around here. So what I'm sort of thinking is, depending on how we're going for feed and that sort of stuff, we might even cut this. There's about 20 or 30 hectares down here roughly, and it'd make pretty good hay. So yeah, we'll just see how the job pans out. We're still probably a month off cutting hay. We might start and do a bit of silage in a couple of weeks, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you this. It's really come away. It's got the lambs beaten, so which is a good problem this time of year. It means we've got plenty of feed on hand. So but yeah, we're just trying to get enough mouths on here probably to intensively graze. It's a bit of a trick at the moment. We could actually bring the other lambs from home, walk them out here and chuck them in here as well, so that is possibly an option. But yeah, it would make very good hay if we put it in a bale anyway. Just come over, Brendan's just started working up this bit of corn ground.
Surprisingly wet in places where you drive over it and you don't think it's going to be that wet underneath.
Yeah, it's sticky enough. It's sort of carrying a fair bit of mud on the wheels of the disc and that. Probably actually where you got cover on the ground. So yeah, it's damp enough still. But yeah, we sort of need to try and make a bit of a start on it. Just come around here so you can see what's going on. We sprayed this canola out. Had the contractor that was here the other day, he sprayed it out for us, and anywhere like up on the check banks there where it was a bit high out of the water, it's the canola had survived, but in between it sort of hadn't. So I think I have mentioned with this stuff I want to try and this area's been laser graded by the previous farm owner. It's a long time ago now that was done, but yeah, we're sort of planning if we can get the ground dry enough. I want to put our laser bucket over it, and just, there's a few holes and that sort of stuff that I've noticed when we've had winter crop in here growing, so, and we've irrigated it, so given, you know, it's going to get, it could get 10 waterings perhaps, maybe a few more, 12 waterings over the life of the corn crop. So yeah, we want to try and get it as good as we can if we within reason. So if we can't can't get it dry enough to put the laser bucket across it, we'll probably just put the grader board across it, which is, it's what is it, it's 45 foot wide, or whatever that is in meters, 12.5 meters or something like that, 13.5 meters. And yeah, it's essentially just a smudger board that we drag around, and you're leveling stuff off with it. So we can muck around with it, and it probably might do the job anyway. But anyhow, we'll get it dissed up, and then we'll probably work it again. Just to try and smash the clods up a bit more and work in a bit of the veggie matter that's still left here, and hopefully it'll come up all right. So a bit of a mixed bag, and this one, mixed farm, so there's always plenty happening. So this is the rice ground. I got a neighbour to come and do the knockdown for us a while ago, and we've had all the sheep on here before shearing and after shearing, so it is they've eaten it back pretty bare. What we've got here though is this stuff that's left here. Now this is, I don't know, thought it was nut grass, but it's not. It's actually, I think its proper name is sedge, and it's an aquatic weed, comes in off the channels essentially, so you can sort of pick the spots here. I want to try and run the laser bucket over these bays as well, if we've got time and we can get it dry enough. Just to fill a few holes in, and it'll just be better for the rice if we can. So yeah, getting back to this stuff, pretty tough sort of stuff to kill. We are going to diss this up, but talking to our agronomist yesterday, we've just got a brew of gramoxone and a product called Hammer, and it'll just spike the gramoxone. So gramoxone's your paraquat, diquat, the nasty one. So we're sort of up around that 100 litres of water to the hectare, but hopefully it'll just get in there and just burn that off a bit more, give it a bit more of a guts ache, and let the roots let go a bit. But we can sort of spray this today, and then we'll come in tomorrow, depending on how Brendan's going over there with the corn ground. We'll come in and start and tear this up the next day or two. So they're talking to shower rain Thursday. It is damp. It'll carry the machine all right, but yeah, there is plenty of moisture here still. So, but yeah, it's a blowy sort of a day today. So it's a blowy sort of a week. So we have had the plane working, spraying some crop in the neighbours next door. So, but anyway, we'll get on and get this done out of the road. Afternoon, everybody. So yeah, it's the day after yesterday, and yeah, been down, did a bit of contract spraying this morning, and yeah, just now putting some fungicide out on some of our own wheat. So what sort of happened is I just got looking. This paddock's got we can irrigate. This paddock's going to go into corn, but yeah, I was just having a look at the moisture probes, and the moisture probe's telling us that it could be watered. So what we're actually doing is, if I can bring it up on my phone, I'll show you. I'm just putting a fungicide out on it now, and then got Tony in here as well. He's just started with some urea, so he's just putting 100 kilos urea on as well while we're going. And Brendan, I don't know if you can see Brendan, he's just working through the fence. He's in the little fence, just working the rice ground up. It's coming up really well, just looking at it. So yeah, I sprayed it yesterday, which you saw, and then yeah, we're straight into it now with with the disc. So yeah, it's doing a pretty good job actually. It's with having the sheep on it and it all grazed off. It's yeah, it's coming up pretty well. So I'll just show you the app. This is what's it called? Pulse. The app's called. And if you can just see there, see how you got the orange and then you've got the red. So the red's the one, this pivot, and what actually happens is it's sort of got a predictive feature in it as well. This setup. So click, yeah, it's going to go. Hang on. So yeah, basically it's telling us that to get, you can see the curved line there. Basically, it's saying to get us back up to the base level, we need to apply 20 mil of rain. So what we're going to do is we've got the dam full of water, so we're going to yeah, we'll start the irrigator in the morning and try and get that curved line back up to the top line there. So yeah, it's our first year sort of really using it because last year it was so wet. Got Tony coming along in front of me. Because last year was so wet, we didn't really take much notice of it. But yeah, because things are starting to dry out a bit. Yeah, it's where it'll come in really handy. The canola over on the dairy block. So the line for it's not as looking at the orange line. There's where it needs to be, so it still can draw down a little bit more, but it's probably getting to the point where we need to perhaps think about watering it as well. Now we've got rain forecast for tomorrow afternoon, possibly a couple of mil, but yeah, realistically that's probably not going to be enough to get it back up to where it needs to be. So we may look at watering some of that country, whether I leave it till after the weekend, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a juggle that. So anyway, that'll do for this one. There's a bit going on, as you've probably picked up. Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Ta-da, bye.